Maya coming to you with another video, and in this video we're making ackee and saltfish. So let's get cooking. Okay, so my friends, for this recipe you're going to need a can of ackee. Any brand will do. This is ackee in brine, and we're going to have some black pepper in it. We're also going to have some crushed red peppers in it. You also need some fresh seasoning like onion, tomato, scallion or green onions, and a Scotch bonnet pepper. I'm going to put some more. I'm going to put some Scotch bonnet pepper in it as well. Okay, my friends, so this is all that you need to make our ackee, and we also have some saltfish here. Okay, so this is salt codfish, and we're going to start making ackee and saltfish. Okay, when you're making ackee and saltfish, my friends, the first thing you want to do is prepare the saltfish. So what I'm going to do is actually rinse all the salt off the codfish, and I'm just going to scrape it up a little bit, clean it up a bit, and then we're going to boil it. Okay, so follow me on this process. Okay, here we go. So when you're preparing the saltfish, my friends, you're going to still want to scale this. Okay, you still want to brush it off a bit, scale it, and make sure all of the scale is off it before you start to boil it, right? This is how I always do my saltfish, clean it up a bit. Now if you buy saltfish in pieces, you might not have to do this process, right? But I always, when I buy saltfish in pieces like this, I always make sure I scale it. Okay, so here we go, lots of scales on this saltfish. Make sure, because you don't want that in your food, right? Always make sure you brush it off with a nice sharp knife. Okay, so I'm going to continue doing this, clean it up nicely, and then we're going to come back with the next process. Okay, so here's my saltfish, my friends, washed and in a pot of water to boil. I'm going to let this boil for about 5 minutes or stuff, like actually having the water bubble, you know what I mean? So make sure the water is boiling, and after it boils for about 5 minutes, I'm going to drain off this water and then boil it again in some fresh water. This saltfish is quite salty, my friends, so if you're struggling with high blood pressure and stuff like that, that salt affects your body in a certain way, you're going to want to make sure you you really boil out all that salt that's in this fish. Okay, I did add a piece to my pot because I'm making some provision. I'm making dumplings with sweet potatoes and green banana and some yam, and so I did toss a piece of my saltfish in there because I didn't want to add any additional salt to my pot. So a piece of saltfish is in there. Okay, so we're gonna let this boil for a bit, and then I'm gonna drain it, and then we're gonna come back and carry on. Okay, my friends, let's start preparing this ackee. Okay, so I need some onion. I'm just going to use half of this onion. I don't think I need more than that. Okay, and I'm going to slice up or chop up this onion. I think I'm going to chop it up. Okay, and of course, again, my friends, I'm using the wrong knife. So I'm just slicing up this onions, not chop, but slice them up. You can chop it up if you want to as well. So this is just my fresh seasoning that's going to be going into my ackee. Okay, now there's quite a few ackee and saltfish recipe online, my friends, and my friend Juliana from How to Cook makes a good ackee and saltfish. Okay, so I'm going to do some tomato as well. I don't think I need all that tomato So I'm just going to use half of that. And I'm also going to slice it up as well. When I'm cooking ackee and saltfish, I like to use a lot of fresh ingredients, right? Lots of fresh seasoning. Okay, and I did wash my seasoning, my friends, before I start to cut them up, right? Okay, so I'm putting some scallion in, or green onions. All this wonderful seasoning is what's going to make your ackee taste really, really good. And ackee doesn't take long to cook, my friends. So, yeah. Okay, so I have my scallion here. I'm also going to put some red pepper in it. I don't eat ackee. I seems to have developed an allergy to it or something that it really... I'm going to change my knife actually too. My friends, I got myself a bigger knife. Okay, so yeah, so I have developed an allergy to ackee, so I don't eat it anymore. This is a red sweet pepper. I'm just chopping it up. I'm just slicing it up small. Okay, so I don't eat ackee anymore. I do eat saltfish. I'm going to be preparing some saltfish at the side for myself, but the ackee with the saltfish is for my family. They just love ackee and saltfish. Okay, and here's a Scotch bonnet pepper. I'm going to put some Scotch bonnet pepper in it. Oh, yeah. Let me get a fork for this. You know, I've never prepared that. Okay, so I got a fork. I'm going to handle the Scotch bonnet pepper with a fork. And yeah, I just want to just a couple of pieces to make it nice and a little bit spicy. Okay, so I have all my fresh ingredients are here ready to go. So let's move over to the stove and start the second part of this. Okay, here it is, my friends. My saltfish is finished cooking. I did rinse it about twice and then boil it about twice just to get off the excess salt off it. So I'm ready to begin the next step. Okay. Okay, my friends, I got my ackee here already. Now, I have a pot on the stove. I'm just going to throw the ackee in there. This is what it looks like, my friends, coming from the can. And so I'm just going to let this boil up for about 2 minutes or so and boil down. This is already cooked, so we're okay. If I was using fresh ackee, I'll be doing a different process. Okay, so this is ackee and saltfish done my way. Okay, so we're gonna let that boil for a bit and then we're gonna come right back and finish up. Okay, my friends, my saltfish, as I told you, has been cooked. I have it sitting in some water so I'm able to manage it and it won't burn my hands. It's just cooling down. And I'm going to break these up in small pieces, okay? Just breaking this up. While I'm doing that, I'm also going to try and remove the skin as well. So I won't have this in my ackee and saltfish. And I'm just going to break it up in small pieces and then we're going to come right back, okay? Okay, my friends, I'm going to, it's just boiling now. It's just started to boil. I'm just warming this ackee through and I am going to drain this. I'm going to use one of these sieves and I'm going to drain this, okay? And then we'll come right back and continue. Okay, my friends, here is my pot and it has about maybe 2 tablespoons of oil in here. Okay, and I'm just letting it heat up a little bit. And then, of course, I've never prepared. Okay, so then I'm going to add in my onion, my scallion, my red pepper, my red sweet pepper, and also my Scotch bonnet pepper. So I have this all in here, my friend. I'm going to add my saltfish in as well. Okay. Add my saltfish in. You might think that's a lot of sawfish, but it actually isn't. As I said before, I don't eat ackee, so I'm just going to eat my sawfish separately. And I'm going to add some black pepper to this. Maybe just a half a teaspoon. And I'm also going to add some red chili pepper to this as well. Okay. I like when my ackee and sausage is spicy. And I have this stove at medium low, okay my friends? Medium low. It smells wonderful in the kitchen. I hope you guys can see how delicious that looks. Now my friends, I'm actually going to take out some of the sawfish because I'm cooking my own sawfish over here for myself. So my friends, here's my sawfish. I'm going to just stick a little bit more oil in it. And my sawfish is doing its job nicely. Okay. All the seasonings are being cooked up. Okay, my friends, so my sawfish is cooking up nicely. It smells delicious in this house. I'm just going to put the ackee on top. Now, my friends, remember, we are making ackee and sawfish, okay? Ackee is actually a delicious fruit, but it's cooked like a vegetable. So ackee is actually a fruit, my friends, and not a vegetable. It's only that it's cooked like a vegetable. You cannot eat ackee raw. Do not try it. Now, if you look on here on the package, this is what the ackee looks like. And those black things are actually the seeds. Now, ackee has to be ripe before you can do anything with it. If it's not ripe, it will kill you, my friends, okay? So make sure, get someone who knows what they're doing with ackee to help you with this, or go to the store and just buy the one in the can. It's safe that way. If, as I told you before, if I was doing fresh ackee, I'll be doing a different process, okay? So there's our ackee, a delicious fruit, what's cooked like the vegetables, okay? So here we are, and the ackee is almost done. Now I'm going to fold this in, my friends, because the ackee is very soft. It has like a scrambled egg consistency. So you have to be careful with it because you don't want to have a mashed up ackee, right? You want it to be, you know, be able to taste some of the ackee. Yeah, so I'm just going to let this warm through. I'm folding the ackee in my pot, my friends. You're not going to, because if you do that, then you're going to have like a mash ackee, and you don't want that. Okay, so let this eat through for another minute, my friends, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to plate this and come back. Okay, so let's do that. Okay, my friends, here we go. Here's my ackee with saltfish, all nice and ready. I've paired it with some sweet potato and some dumplings. And so that's it. Go out, get yourself a can of ackee and make some ackee and saltfish. Thank you for watching, my friends, and remember, regardless of where you begin, you can end with something better.